Hi, everyone. I'm just getting myself set up on YouTube and IG. I am back reading another poem from the Tao Te Ching. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I read from the original poem and then, of course, from the new version, the modern interpretation for parents, written by William Martin. So let's get started. Chapter 19. Forget about knowledge and wisdom, and people will be 100 times better off. Discard charity and righteousness, and people will return to brotherly love. Discard profit and greed, and there will be no thieves. These three are superficial and are not enough to keep us in the center of the circle. So we too must embrace simplicity, give priority to others, wish for less. I love how this is so cryptic at times. I mean, I have some insights on this, but let's read the Parents Tao Te Ching, advice for modern day parenting. Let's read this version of poem number 19, and then I'll read, as usual, William's insights, and then, of course, share my own as a parenting expert. So, in this book, it is poem number 19 is called "Recognize the Inner Realities." All right. If you try to make your children good, you will make them and yourself miserable. Instead, show them you believe in their natural goodness, and all will be blessed. If you try to make them honor you, you will create instead resentment and dishonesty. Instead, honor yourself and them, and all will be happy. If you try to make them successful, you will perpetuate their misery of endless desires. Instead, enjoy the simple life, and all will find contentment. All right. He has a couple lines here, and then, of course, I'm going to share my insights because there's so much to say about this. William Martin's insights are as follows. You do not have to teach the outward niceties. You have to recognize the inward realities. You do not have to make things turn out well. You have to recognize that all is well. Okay, I just had a flash of a mantra that I used to have when I was younger, way younger, which was make things happen. Okay, type A personality, love to make things happen. A lot of masculine energy, got me to a lot of places. But when I started parenting, it got a little tricky. And through this journey of parenting thus far, one of the things that been embracing is allowing things to happen. Now, that's tricky because, as you've heard me say before, you're not just a parent, you are a substitute frontal lobe, because the frontal lobe is not developed until age 25 to 35. So there's a lot of executive functioning skills that we are helping our children develop. And because of that, allowing things to just happen is not always realistic. But when we can allow things to happen, allow things like natural consequences, allow things like their natural experience of things. I'm going to give you an example. So actually today I had a client who was talking about one of their kids in a social setting, and the child had a big blowout with a classmate, and the parent was quite worried about this child who is a gladiator kid. If you don't know what gladiator kid is a kid who's super defiant, super strong-willed, relentless in negotiating, very sensitive, but also very prickly at the same time. It's a connected parenting term that really helps to acknowledge a child who is struggling a bit, and one that we can really support and help. So the parent was worried that this child would, of course, as we all do as parents, get into the headspace of, oh my gosh, my child can't, doesn't know how to get along with people, flies off the handle, whatever the stories are that are in your head that have accumulated because of evidence and how your child has behaved in the past. But one of the things that we need to remember as parents is that like if we were trying to make our child be a better friend, which again, this is a fine line, it's so nuanced, but it's such a fine line between making our child be a better friend and guiding our child to tune in to what makes sense for and what is the definition of having a good friend, like what are friend moves, which is another concept I talk about with clients all the time. So when we allow natural consequences to happen and we allow natural friendships to kind of unfold or break apart, and we are there as a guiding light, we are there to help them, that is the best way to learn. That is the best way for a child to learn what works for them, what they feel, what kind of friends they feel good around, what kind of friends that they get an icky feeling around. So it's important for us to start cultivating some of this awareness for our kids because making friends is a lifelong skill. Holding boundaries, knowing what you are available for, and what you tolerate, and what you're not okay with. These are all skills, lifelong skills that we have this beautiful opportunity to help start cultivating for our kids. So when we try to make something happen from the goodness of our heart, for sure, because you are a parent, you want your child to be able to experience life with some ease and joy. Um, but sometimes we can overstep and try to just fix the problem, try to tell our child exactly what to do. And if you have a gladiator kid, which, I have two girls, one of them is very much a gladiator, they won't even hear that from you. Okay. And if you have older kids who are in their teens and rebelling, they definitely don't want to hear this from you. So, how I guide parents is through a counterintuitive way to approach their child. And the goal is creating and cultivating lifelong skills that are going to be supportive for your child, not just now, but in the long term. So, when we again try to solve a problem for our child, we are creating bigger challenges. Okay. Um, so, and you'll see this if you have a child who is generally a little more complacent and who will, listen to what you say and hear what you have to say. Um, you might hear that child saying something like, "Well, I don't know." When they come up to a challenge, they might get a little flustered. I'm not sure what to do. What do I do, mommy? What do I do, daddy? Which is great that they want our advice. At the same time, we want to help them start to solve problems on their own. And yes, we're there to help them. Yes, we're there to guide them. How we do it makes all the difference. So, approaching things in a counterintuitive way, having some compassion and patience, and lead with curiosity. So, your goal is not to solve the problem, your goal is to help your child solve the problem. And when we try to, just going back to some of the lines here in the poem, if you want to make them successful, you will perpetuate their misery of endless desires. Instead, enjoy the simple life and all will find contentment. So when our child is experiencing an issue or they are having a challenge at school or at home with their siblings, it's human nature for us parents to try to go in and solve it. So what this imitation is asking you to do is instead pause, always pause, lead with curiosity, and build awareness with your child. What works for them in this moment? What doesn't work in this moment? Oh, that really sucked what happened at school. How did it feel for you? Do you want my advice? Always ask a child. kids, no matter how old they are. Um, and then honor what they say. So there's a lot in this one. But if, and I want you to walk away with remembering to lead with curiosity, pause whenever you're about to solve a problem, do those two things, and you will see that your children start to develop a sense of awareness around problem solving and you to guide them. That's a beautiful, beautiful skill set to help leave your child with. Hope that was helpful. And I will see you in the next time. You can always catch these and all the other previous readings on my IG account and, of course, on YouTube. Have a great day. We'll talk later. Bye.